We're up next now with our next interview. Earlier on, we spoke about the mineral-rich belt that straddles Zambia and the DRC that produces more than 70% of global cobalt, of which more than 95% is exported in raw form, depriving the two countries the much-needed place as far as electric vehicle value chain is concerned. Now, joining us in studio is Mr. Kabayo Muhau, President, Zambia Electric Mobility Innovation Alliance, who will be able to chat with Msonda regards the progress that is being made and as far as this project is concerned. Msonda.
Thank you so much, Jason. Good morning and welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning. Thank you.
Okay. First things first, let's talk about the prospects of Zambia achieving the electric vehicle status.
All right, thanks again. Maybe, let me just start by introducing ourselves. The President for Zambia Electric Mobility Innovation Alliance. This is a group which has come together to promote the adoption, development and growth of electric vehicles in the country. As you've seen, there's been a lot of buzz countrywide, actually worldwide. But coming to your question, Zambia sits at a place which we've got a lot of advantages. We're at the center of all the minerals, lithium ion ore, the steel, the copper is all here. But we're like spectators, and yet on the world stage, we're the main suppliers. So how can we get benefit of these things which are happening here is to get in the value chain of the whole system.
Why have we been spectators?
The challenge has been most of the items in Zambia. I think our manufacturing base has been not enough. Most of the products are going out as raw materials and coming in and finished products. These things are making things very expensive because, for example, is an electric vehicle, more than 50% of the cost is a battery. And those components of the batteries, more 99% of them, we have them in Zambia. But do you have manufacturing base for a battery at the moment, which is producing like large scale? We don't have. So by those materials, with them, they go out as raw materials and come back in. They'll be very expensive. But how do we monetize that and ensure that we get advantage of it is to ensure we've got manufacturing plants processing these things to ensure we've got finished products. We've got to change our mindset, like a reliance on fuel to ensure that we go back to the drawing board and get what we are on at the moment. If you look at the current fuel bill for Zambia, Zambia imports about $1.2 billion worth of fuel every year. And this is incremental at a rate of 10% to 15% every year. Yet the cost of managing an electric vehicle is only about 10% of that. So that would help out also in the country to ensure we come down and also have resources which can be spared to other things. But we have to start from the basic. Do we have enough education? The colleges, what training is being given to the technicians who are doing automotive? Do we have people who can retrofit those vehicles? So we need to look to ensure that the cost of having those things is really affordable for everyone, to ensure people can be able to get on it.
Penetrating any market is very difficult. I think that's the most difficult thing.
Yes.
As a country, how best can we prepare ourselves to penetrate this market and enter this value chain?
I think currently the good thing which is there is we need political will, which is number one, because government is the biggest buyer, and government needs to provide an enabling environment for people to thrive in. Currently, the cost of importing an EV is quite expensive. So we have a ZEMIA, actually in the previous budget, the 2023 budget, we did write to the budget office to ensure they bring down incentives like zero rating the customs and VAT, also increasing to ensure also incentives are given on that. Although it's a small achievement, it's a start for us. We're given 50% off of the electric vehicle. I think Dr. Sumiko did announce that 15% has been reduced from 30% customs duties on electric vehicles to 15%. So we need to make things affordable for everyone, given incentives. I'll give you a world case example, one of the best cases, which is Norway. Norway currently in the moment, they are the number one in the world. They've got 87% penetration of electric vehicles. That never happened by chance. It was because it was done by initiative to ensure things were cheaper. Incentives such as the same customs duties comes up. Companies which are involved in the value chain, they come down, like they've given corporate tax, incentives which are cut. Things like toll gates, they don't get to pay for 5 years. You buy a new vehicle, you don't have to pay for toll gates. You get free parking in town. Buses, like Kenya right now, they're doing some piloting on electric buses. Those buses, they've got priority in buses stations. When they're getting to load, they get to number one and don't get to pay for charging. So these are incentives that as a government needs to put in place. Right now, there's range anxieties like yourself. Would you buy an electric vehicle? Reason is you feel, I want to reach where I'm going. That's the mindset of most Zambians. So we need to change that mindset. The first thing is we need to ask the right questions. Do we need the range of 1,000 kilometers? For example, if we always equate a fuel tank to how many kilometers we can get from a car. You find an average vehicle is about 200 km, 250. But the range that you use from home to your office, maybe it's about 15 kilometers, 20 kilometers. Most range for EVs are 150 going up. That is enough. Charging infrastructure. Yes, we don't have it, but where do we start from? Zambian electricity is rated at 230 volts, which is like level 2 charge. There's level 110 volts, level 2, which is 230. It goes up 7 kilowatts and up to fast chargers. We can charge from our homes, just like a phone, from your same AC socket from a place where overnight, within 4 hours, you'll be able to charge. So if we can start from there, then we'll be able to have these infrastructure things ongoing. But again, the government is saying...
That's assuming that you knocked off at midnight, you got home, there's power, you can plug your car in and start charging and come early for your show in the morning. Otherwise, you wake up...
Yeah.
You know, you had those
assuming
experiences
there's
where...
no load shedding.
You wake up in the morning, I'm trying to iron in the morning, then there's no power.
Right now, so the technologies which is on the electric vehicles are so robust that you can even actually use the vehicle to charge your home. So in an event that you've got, you're not utilize all the power. Most of these vehicles are rated 30 kilowatts, 50 kilowatts. What you use in your home is about 5 kilowatts, not even more than 3. If you've got a 2-bedroom house or a 3-bedroom house, it's about 3 to 5 kilowatts. A vehicle, minimum is about 30 kilowatts. That's about excess power you can use to charge your home as well. So most of the time, you want to charge it from 0 to 100 to 100%. It will maybe just be topping up. Because say from your home, say you live in Ibex, so you come here, it's about maybe 16 kilometers. 16 kilometers maybe is about 10 kilowatts, less than that. So you've got excess. So you not just start from 0 to charge that. And also in an event, so you come here, we're going to also help that the government can also put, even in your institution here, you've got some incentives. Part of those incentives is to ensure, like ZNBC, it imports those electric chargers, they put them in the car park. As you're here waiting, it's charging. So that when you're through, you show do other things, you can find your vehicle. You've got a few mileage in it. Which will make sure that at least you still have something topping up over there. But the challenge that we have is we need infrastructure on the ground. We know that ZESCO MD did mention that they've got a plan to ensure that 1,000 electric chargers are installed countrywide. So we hope the government can also want to do that. The challenge which is there is there's this thing to say, government, that is of the egg and the chicken, which one came first? The government is saying we can't put infrastructure because there are no electric vehicles. The whole country, Zambia right now, we've got only 35 electric vehicles. And those are being charged mostly from home. We've got a new company, Sustainable Energy. They're putting up chargers countrywide. And those we've got other innovators on the group, on ZEMIA, who are like pioneering new vehicles which will be manufactured in the country. But all those things we need incentives from the government. Right now it's very expensive to bring in these things. So
the assumption though is that these electric vehicles are expensive.
No, actually not. We have to start from somewhere.
Yeah.
We can start from second-hand. These are used vehicles. Most of them are just second-hand vehicles. Online, you can get a Nissan Leaf, which is about $5,000. Same as bringing in, say, actually almost half the price of bringing in a RAV4. So it's not about. It's just what we said is it's about the mindset. If we can change the mindset and just get to know a little bit of it, that's why ZEMIA came up together to push for the adoption of electric vehicles, because the mindset of many people, they feel it's something which is far-fetched. You can't have it. You can't use it. If you drive an electric vehicle, I can assure you, you never go back to ICE. That's an internal combustion engine. It's very smooth. It's very quiet. It's very comfortable. The whole surface of it, the whole under edge of it, it's a battery pack. It's very heavy, meaning you can't overturn even at the curve you're doing 80. It's very stable. The cases of having accidents are very few, and also the cost of running it is very minimal. And the cost of bringing it, it's also same as even if you bring in a Corolla, same as that. But how can we incentivize the whole ecosystem to ensure that we create, everyone benefits, to ensure that the government needs to put in taxes to ensure that the companies can invest in that and are able to make it. Right now, speaking to ERB to ensure that they can have a special tariff for charging electric vehicles. So that when you're charging electric vehicles, like the mines have got the special tariffs. So we also want electric vehicle users to also have a special tariff, so that when you're charging on an electric vehicle, you'll not be able to spend as much as if you're going to use it home, because it's becoming an economic case, because you're going to, by you charging at a lower rate, you also bring down the value of, the cost of the fuel, because instead of going to a charging station, electric station, you'll be using it from home or from anywhere else instead of using fuel. So
I think you have a lot of work to do with regards to sensitization.
But for me, and it's still in line with what Msonta is saying, the assumption is that we are talking heads. There's no action on the ground.
Actually, it hasn't been there. That's why I think it's something which most of us have been working in silos. For myself, I've been working in the auto industry for, I think, for over 10 years, but then I resigned to go on my own. I went to renewable energy, done my limited and the like. So it's something we've been pushing for, but we've been a lot of individuals doing it silently. And so we thought we'd come together and created Zambian Mobility Innovation and ZEMIA. And also by that, we went to government. Government, nothing has been happening much. So you're right, yes. We need a lot of work. That's why we are trying to push for that, especially for the awareness. I think, I don't know if you did check, I think a year ago or so, there's a gentleman who bought a Nissan Leaf, a full 100% electric vehicle. He was selling it online. And the comments which were there, they were like so brutal and so like, people were like so negative. They said, are you going to be moving with a genset? What will happen? Am I going to move a sack of charcoal to get something? So it's from then we saw that there needs.
And you know, another worry as to why you need this sensitization. The West are going to be doing away with their cars, and all that will come to Zambia or Africa. What our friends are doing away with is what will land here. Meanwhile, we can actually have those, because the assumption on the ground, like Jason said, is that these are expensive cars.
Yeah, and Msonda, let me just bring in a different issue, but still in line with what Msonda says. So while everybody else is moving towards electric cars, all right, they will need a dumping ground for the, what do you call these common vehicles we're driving now?
Merchandises.
Exactly. So they'll just lower the prices on the internet and everyone will be open, hey, V8, V6, Jeep, whatever make. So this will be a dumping ground. So that's what you're competing against. So that's why Musonda says you need more sensitization to have people be aware that, look, it's not, you need to start moving with time now before you start receiving things that you'll be able to start dumping in the next 3, 4, 5 years after they.
Because for us, it will be class. You'll be going for class.
Yes.
Now I can afford this expensive car.
Yeah. Actually, to answer your question, you are so right. And it's already happening. If you go on UK sites, there's the Range Rover Sport, you see. It's not as expensive as you think it is. They're already dumping these vehicles. That vehicle you get for like $5,000. Okay. So it's same as the price as a Corolla in UK. That's one of dumping these things. They bring down the cost. But how can we cushion ourselves from that? It's to ensure that we've got innovation, we've got enough regulation. The policies and standards for those things are put in place. If the government is going to put these incentives, the policies enough to ensure that, first of all, the government needs to put in place some of the policies which want the government to push is they need to put in black and white every year, how many percentage of vehicles are they going to be buying electric vehicles? How much of the duties are they going to rate in the next 5 years? So how many manufacturing companies are going to be promoted? How many corporate companies are going to be ensured that they don't pay corporate tax, they reduce the given the tax incentives from the M-phase and it's given countrywide? Only then can we manufacture our own. Like bring down the cost of an EV is what is paramount. An EV is, even an SCE and an EV vehicle, an EV is slightly more expensive to buy. But if you can bring in incentives for like duties and other usage things, the cost of that comes down, and someone will be able to ensure that they'll be able to afford it. But we have to start from small vehicles. We don't have to start from big vehicles. China right now, they've developed a vehicle called a Wuling. A Wuling is just $5,000, and these they're pushing them for students. So they come in all different colors, in pink, in bright, and the like, for students to manage them. And that $5,000 will give you 150 kilometers of range to 200. And that's enough, like I said, for, like I said, we need to mindset change. From your home to your son, 16 kilometers. You don't need a 500 range vehicle like a Tesla Model S or Model 3. You don't need like a Lucy, which is giving you 700 kilometers, because we just need to get to an office, you do your work. Unless even maybe doing deliveries. Even deliveries just increase your battery pack on the vehicle, then it becomes it. So how can we ensure that we don't become a dumping site? By ensuring the value chain is developed right now, by ensuring companies ourselves will start manufacturing these things. If we're going to promote, bring in finished products, it will be very expensive, because yes, we can start with knockdown parts, say conversion kits. Right now, there's a problem on the market. A lot of these vehicles, like minibuses, are running on ICE. How can we ensure the wage for fuel and the like is brought down? We start with those things. We start doing conversion. Even if vehicle you can drive,
so
can be converted.
The question for me is, Zambia, DRC, where are you in this project?
How do we stand to benefit?
Yeah. No, in fact, where are you as an entity, Zambia? Where are you in this equation?
Actually,
and what role are you playing?
All right, sure. Actually, apart from the DRC Zambia deal, UNEP, the UN agency, has given Zambia a substantial amount of money, and it's being administered by the Minister of Green Economy through ZEMIA. And through that, we've been invited to sit on that to also ensure how that project is going to be done. This is a project to ensure that the right policies of EVs, the roadmap, what you're asking for, how we're going to be putting these things together are in there. So there's currently a project under UNEP, it's called the GEF8, which is going to be running from now until 2025. It's been funded already, and already it's coming. I think in the coming few weeks more will be coming out to the public. There was just some planning sessions coming
so I had a question.
Yeah. There have been talks about electric charged minerals found in DRC. Tell us more about that.
It's quite an interesting, and it changes the whole ballgame of this.
This is it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are some of the minerals which have been discovered in the recent weeks in DRC. These are not in the public domain, and because they're still under investigations to find out how much charge is coming out, how much they can be used, can they come out to give out how much charges? Because if you can see, that's high voltage, and these have been found in DRC. And right now, they're being investigated at some of the universities there to find out exactly how much voltage is coming out and how they can be used. So this changes the whole thing, whereby you don't need a lot of minerals to come up with electricity now. It simply shows we can also get just power direct from these minerals. So, and like we say, Zambia, DRC sits at a very, very, very focal point in the world where we're so advantageous. We've got the right minerals, we've got the right capacity, we've got the right education. All we need is political will to ensure these things come together and they come up. Otherwise, if we're just going to be spectators of our own, we're going to remain behind. We believe our generation is the right one. We're at the right time in history where we can make these things come to light. And we've got the right mindset, we've got enough education. On ZEMIA, we've got sort of individuals who are well-educated, we've got professors, we've got doctors in all spheres to bring these vehicles to light and also to cut on this. That's why even the UNEP and also the government and through the ERB, they've invited us on this, which we're talking about, to ensure that we're also there to ensure these things come to light. Otherwise, it will be we don't be spectators in the long run, and we need more people to have information. Without it, people just think EVs are just there, neither here nor there, just talking about it, but it's something which is very real.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time, bringing us up to speed with what's happening with regards the electric vehicle status. Like I said, you have a lot of work to do with regards sensitization. Yeah,
very true. Otherwise, I'd invite you to visit Subilo Energy. They've already brought in electric vehicles. They're part of members of ZEMIA as well. They brought some electric chargers, electric vehicles. You can test drive and see and live there and see how great it is. So slowly from yourself, you start thinking of budgeting for one.
Nice one. All right, this is Morning Live. We take a short break.